I almost skipped Bratislava entirely, nearly didn't come, and it might be the best city I've visited in years. Fairy tale old town, castle over the Danube, underground wine cellars, meals for €8, beers for 1.50, and a glass of Slovak wine at €2. European capital, and it's not a joke. This is exactly why this channel exists, finding the places everyone overlooks before the crowd catches on. If that's your thing, subscribe now. We have cities coming every week. Top 10 things to do in Bratislava. Let's get into it. Kicking things off at number 10, Bratislava Castle. And yes, I'm starting with the castle because honestly, how could I not? This thing sits up on a rocky hill right above the old town, gleaming white with four-cornered towers. And you see it from basically everywhere in the city. It's iconic, it's a symbol of Bratislava, and the view from up there, absolutely incredible. From the castle terrace, you get these sweeping panoramic views of the Danube River snacking below you, the red rooftops of the old town, the weird UFO bridge we'll get to later, and on a clear day you can literally see three countries, Slovakia, Austria, and Hungary. Three countries from one viewpoint. That's generally nuts when you think about it. The castle itself has been here in some form since the 9th century, though most of it is what you see now is a 20th century reconstruction after originally burned down in 1811. Inside, there is a Slovak National Museum with exhibitions on the country's history going way back, and I mean way back, like Bronze Age artifacts, Roman settlements, and early Slavic history. But even if you skip the museum, just walking around the castle grounds and taking those views is absolutely worth a climb. And it's a climb. The hill is steep and the walk up will test your legs. But trust me, when you get to the top, the view and you see the view, you forget every step. Number 9, we have wandered the old town. Just get completely, gloriously lost in Bratislava's old town, and I genuinely mean that. Put your phone in your pocket, ditch the map, and just wander. The old town is tiny, like genuinely tiny. You can walk end to end about 15 minutes. But that's almost what makes it so magical, because within that small space, every single street corner reveals something new. Cobblestone lanes that twist and turn unexpectedly, pastel-colored Baroque buildings with intricate facades, little squares that open up out of nowhere, medieval gates, and tiny wine bars down stairways you'd almost miss if you weren't paying attention. Hidden courtyards behind unmarked doors. The absolute heart of the old town is the main square, with a beautiful Roland fountain right in the middle, and the old town hall on the side. From the main square, let yourself drift down the side streets, wander down, poke your head into the little passages and archways, look up the buildings, and actually look up because the details on the upper floors of these Baroque houses are stunning and everyone just stares at their phones and misses them completely. One spot you absolutely have to find is the Blue Church, just a short walk from the old town center. It's completely bonkers, a totally gorgeous Art Nouveau church that is, as the name suggests, entirely blue. And don't be afraid just to sit somewhere and do nothing for a while. At number 8, we have hand down all the quirky bronze statues around the city. And yes, this absolutely deserves its own spot on the list because they are that fun and that characterful. So Bratislava has these brilliant little bronze sculptures dotted around the old town streets that are really lovable. The most famous, and the one you simply cannot miss, is this little workman figure who appears to be peering up out of a manhole in the middle of the street, just watching the world go by with his cheeky expression. He's been here since 1997, and he's become an official mascot of the city. The entire old town is this brilliant little scavenger hunt, and honestly is one of those things that sounds a bit touristy when you describe it, but in reality is genuinely delightful. Kids obviously absolutely go mad for it, adults secretly love it just as much, and they make for the most fun, original photos you'll take in the whole city. At number 7, we have visited the St. Martin's Cathedral. St. Martin's Cathedral is Bratislava's most iconic Gothic church and a place with some genuinely remarkable royal history that most visitors don't know about. This cathedral was built in the 14th century and for nearly 300 years, from 1563 all the way to 1830, it was the place where the kings and queens of the Kingdom of Hungary were crowned. 11 monarchs were crowned right here in this building. 11, including Maria Theresa in 1741. One of the most powerful rulers in the entire history of the Hamburg Empire. The woman essentially ran half of Europe, and her coronation happened right here in Bratislava. The Gothic architecture is stunning from the outside, the tall spire, the stone detailing, the sheer scale of it, but make sure you go inside. It's peaceful, atmospheric, full of incredible historical artifacts, and completely free to enter. There's a beautiful statue of Saint Martin selling his cloak inside, and the whole interior has this wonderful quiet weight to it. And here's one of my favorite completely absurd Bratislava facts. The cathedral is literally built right up against the old city wall, and the main highway, the SNB Bridge approach road, runs about 3 meters from the side of the building, like a 14th century Gothic cathedral, with a motorway as its next door neighbor. Only in Bratislava would this situation be considered completely normal. At number 6, we have the UFO Bridge and observation deck. The UFO Bridge, and I promise I'm not making the name up, it's officially called Most SNP or the New Bridge, but everyone calls it the UFO Bridge because it has a literally flying saucer sitting on top of it. A spaceship on a bridge over the Danube. This is the real thing that exists. The observation deck up in the UFO sits about 85 meters above the Danube River and gives you a 360-degree panoramic view of the entire city and beyond, the castle on one side and the old town below. The modern city spreading out, Austria visible in the distance, and it's generally one of the best views you'll get anywhere in Central Europe. And it's completely unique because you're essentially standing inside a piece of 1970s communist-era architecture that somehow looks like science fiction. The bridge was built in 1972, and at the time, the communist authorities actually demolished a huge chunk of Bratislava's Jewish quarter and medieval streets to make way for it, which is a dark and important part of city's history worth knowing about. The UFO deck was added later and became one of those accidental iconic landmarks that defines a city's skyline. There is a restaurant up there too, UFO restaurant, which is obviously very touristy, but also generally has one of the most spectacular dining settings you ever experience anywhere. It is a bit of a splurge, yes. Is it indeed in a flying saucer 85 meters above the Danube, a story you will tell forever? Also yes. At number 5, we have drinking Slovak wine in an underground cellar. Because here's something that generally surprised me. Slovakia is actually a wine country. A proper centuries-old wine country, and almost nobody outside of Central Europe knows it. Slovakia has been producing wine for over 2,000 years. The Romans planted vineyards here, and the country has 7 distinct wine regions, each producing different styles and varieties. And the quality is generally excellent, particularly the whites. The experience of drinking Slovak wine in Bratislava is what's special, because the old town is riddled with these ancient underground wine cellars. Prices are completely reasonable. A proper wine tasting for 4 or 5 Slovak wines with some local cheeses and charcuterie comes around 15 to 20 euros, compared to what you'd pay for the same experience in Vienna or Prague. The value is just ridiculous. The wine, my personal favorite discovery, was a crisp aromatic wine that's absolutely perfect with Slovak food. For reds, try Frankova Modra, Slovakia's most celebrated red grape, producing wines with this beautiful dark fruit character and spice. At number 4, we have take a day trip to Devín Castle, and this might be the most underrated thing on the entire list, even among people who have actually been to Bratislava. Just 9 kilometers outside of the city, perched dramatic on a sheer hill where the Morava River meets the Danube, you'll find the ruins of Devín Castle. And dramatic is generally the right word. Crumbling stone towers rising out of the rock face, a sheer drop to the rivers below, forests stretching out behind, and give this incredible sense of history pressing in from all sides. This castle has been occupied since at least the 9th century, and the records of it being great Moravian stronghold, which put it at the very foundation of the Slovak national identity over the centuries. But here, there's a layer of history that really got to me. During the Cold War, from the late 1940s right up to 1989, the cliff was literally the Iron Curtain. The wire fences and watchtowers were right here. The Danube was the border between the communist Czechoslovakia and neutral Austria, and people actually tried to cross it. Hundreds of people attempted to escape to freedom by swimming the river or crossing the forests right here at this spot. Standing at the edge of the cliff, looking across the river into Austria, knowing all of that history, it gives this place an incredible emotional weight that you can't just get reading about it. It's one of those travel experiences that stays with you. Getting there is super easy. There's a regular bus from Bratislava city center that takes about 30 minutes. It costs almost nothing. Entry to the castle ruin is very cheap, and the combination of the dramatic scenery, the deep history, and the relatively few visitors makes it one of the most rewarding things you can actually do in Bratislava area. Number 3 is the Slovak food. Slovak cuisine is massively underrated. Don't waste a single meal on a tourist trap food. The national dish is brinzové haluski, potato dumplings in sharp sipped cheese sauce with crispy bacon. Think elevated mac cheese. Then there is kapustinka, a smoky soup, and the braised beef with dumplings and cranberry jam. Trusted fried dough with garlic butter and sour cream that's basically addictive. Oh, and the goulash. Think paprika rich, deeply comforting. Now the prices, like 3-course meal, lunch with a beer, is close to 11 euros. A pint is like 1.5 to 2 euros, and dinner for 2 around 35 to 40 euros. In a European capital, I checked my bill multiple times. At number 2, we have Michael's Gate, which is the last surviving medieval gate from Bratislava's original city walls, and one of the most photogenic spots in the city. The tower dates to the 14th century. A tapered stone structure with a baroque copper roof and a golden arcade St. Michael on top. You can climb the 51-meter tower, which houses a small arms museum, but the real draw is the view over the old town rooftops. Just beyond the gate, original sections of the medieval city walls still stand. Walking them is one of those quiet historical moments that doesn't get talked about enough. And the number 1 that cannot be booked or put on a map is simply experiencing what makes Bratislava unique, a real, functioning European capital that still feels like a warm, human-scale town. It's an EU capital for only 475,000 people. You can walk the whole town end-to-end in 15 minutes, not hour-long metro journeys, and it hasn't been consumed by tourism yet. The locals are still present, the restaurants still cater to residents, and the authenticity is still intact. And then there is history. Capital of the Kingdom of Hungary for 300 years, Habsburg court, 11 monarchs crowned here, Czechoslovakia, Nazi occupation, communist rule, and the Velvet Revolution, the Velvet Divorce. All of it still visible on the streets around you. Don't treat this as a Vienna day trip. Give it 2 days or 2 full days minimum. Wander without a plan, sit in a square, talk to people. Bratislava still feels like a genuine place rather than a touristic theme park. And right now, while it's still undiscovered, is the perfect moment to visit. Get there before everyone else does, because they will. So there you have it, the top 10 things to do in Bratislava. Before this trip, it was just a name on the map. I nearly skipped it for more time in Vienna. Massive mistake that would have been. Bratislava gets under your skin quietly, no grand first impression. It just slowly reveals itself, and by the time you leave, you're already thinking about coming back. Practically, you need around 2 full days minimum, ideally 3. Spring is ideal, December magical for Christmas markets, and January to March is peak value and 0 crowds. And it sits perfectly in any Central Europe itinerary. Vienna 1 hour, Budapest 2, Prague 3 to 4. Final thing, do not leave without sitting in an underground wine cellar drinking Slovak wine. I said it already, and I'm saying it again. 2 euros a glass, medieval stone vault, and there is no excuse. If this was useful, a like helps other travelers discover Bratislava exists, which honestly feels like a public service. Subscribe for more underrated European cities every week. Until next time, happy travels.